it's Romy. Welcome to the channel. This is the December reading for Taurus. So if you are Taurus sun, rising or moon, this is a general reading. It may resonate for you. Please also check out your rising and your moon sign if it doesn't. If you would like to support the channel, please go ahead, drop me a like, a comment, make sure you're subscribed, and you can also purchase the extended reading where you'll find the link for in the description box below. Please also stay tuned through the month of December as I will be posting out your 2020 annual reading. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera so that you can see the cards that we're pulling for the month of December for you in more detail. Let's get started. Okay, Taurus, December 2019, last month of the decade. So how are we approaching the end of this year for you? We're right in the energy of a beautiful new moon in Sagittarius, which is your 8th house. The 8th house energy is all about your internal landscape. So if you think about the arrow of Sagittarius and the fact that you need to pull that arrow back, for me that's that 8th house. You're pulling it back deep into your subconscious, into your psyche, looking at what needs to be transformed and how you're then going to send that out to the universe, what you want to change, what the new vision and the new picture is going to look like for you. But it's that deeper sense of inner contemplation that is coming forward. We begin your reading with the 7 of Pentacles. So you are in an energy of taking stock, of reflection. There's a sense of almost needing to acknowledge that throughout the course of 2019, and indeed this last decade, because a lot of the energies and the memories and the reflections will be coming up around this time from that as well, that at every point you made the decisions and the choices in the best way that you knew how to at the time, in the energy that you were in. And there needs to be an acknowledgement and an awareness of that. So if you find yourself at this moment in time almost with a sense of, this is not where I expected to be, or, you know, this hasn't quite come around or shown me, or I haven't been able to reap the harvest of the effort and the time that I've put into something, whether that be, you know, to yourself in terms of self-improvement, to a relationship, to something that's going on in your work or your family environment. You know, the 7 of Pentacles can be a card of taking stock, but sometimes that sense of disquiet or dissatisfaction about what has been accomplished. So Spirit is saying to me that there needs to be a recognition from you that you made the right choices at every given moment along the journey, and you're actually exactly where you are meant to be at this moment in time. And as we're in this new moon energy and you're setting out your store for the bigger vision to come, it needs to come from a place that says, I've already done so much of the hard work, I've laid the foundations, and this is a time of like moving into more of a receptive mode to allow that picture to truly take form. But 8th house is going to help with the inner transformation, and maybe that inner transformation is just, you know, really you allowing yourself, giving yourself permission to then invite that in, what that picture looks like to you. So on the 2nd of December, we have Jupiter moving into the sign of Capricorn, another earth sign. So you're going to feel quite at peace with the placement of this. When Jupiter, planet of growth and expansion, of opportunity, of luck, and, you know, that sense of synchronicity is in the sign of Capricorn, it's giving us a message that says we will make our own luck. We will achieve through perseverance and through a sense of mastery. And we will keep that bigger picture in mind, but we will work diligently towards it. So for me, that's an energy that's going to be right through 2020 for you, Taurus, and one that you feel quite at home with. You're not afraid of doing the work to bring about and create the kind of life that you want for yourself. And your star energy that's coming through for me is bringing in a sense of hope and renewal just when you need it. So if your energy is flagging, if you felt like I'm almost at the finish line but not quite there, or I can't quite see how this is possibly going to come together. You know, we talked about how the Pluto and Saturn transits in your 9th house is all about you keeping the faith. This came up in previous readings. So for me, the stars coming in just at that right time of the year to give you that boost, that sense of renewal, to help you keep going. I also feel for those of you that are, you know, having a focus in and around relationships, this could be an Aquarius energy that's involved for some of you right now. There is a sense of more openness, more compassion, more tolerance, and even forgiveness. Now, sometimes we need that sense of forgiveness just to be able to move forward and to break free. And when we're thinking about how we can move more into a receptive mode to receive the things that we have in that bigger vision for ourselves, there may well be a recognition from you in this month of December, Taurus, about who or what you need to release or let go or forgive for yourself. Not necessarily for the other person, but just for you. What do you need in order to clear out an energy pattern or to clear out an emotional pattern that's just got stuck in your vibration and you can feel is maybe still causing some sense of disquiet or unrest? Because what we need is for you to be able to look up and actually see the true picture of everything that you've already created and what's coming in for you. Beautiful sense of healing energy that's coming through from that star energy. And I feel, you know, from an angelic and spirit guide perspective, you're getting a lot of messages right the way through the month of December to just help validate what you feel and where you're at in your journey at this moment in time. So we have Page of Swords coming through, and actually Page of Swords could be another air sign, a Gemini, Libra or Aquarius, but we have this full moon coming in on the 12th of December in the sign of Gemini. Okay, so in the sign of Gemini, that full house is hitting into your second house. The energy of your second house, Taurus, is all about money, possession, finances, but also interestingly it's about your sense of self-worth. And so I feel that around that full moon, what's getting illuminated for you is this real deeper understanding, because remember we've got that 8th house energy that's taking place, so you're being asked to go inwards to that internal landscape and look at how you are measuring your sense of self-worth, and then how that's showing up in the relationships that surround you at this point, how that's showing up in the way that you are connecting through your work or your family life, and the way in which you're showing up in the world. I feel like that full moon is going to bring some interesting validation and signs and understanding. Think about it as a moment of epiphany, like a tipping point. There's actually a conjunction between Saturn, Pluto and Venus happening around that full moon in Gemini. And remember, the Gemini is the twins, so we have that light and shade, we have that very dualistic aspect of things. So you could see something in two very different guises within yourself, and it's about bringing in the healing, if we look at that star energy, to help you reconcile something around that point in time. Now, if you are dealing with an air sign, it talks to me about the need for clear, open communication, and with that star energy, it coming in from a place of healing. What I think is interestingly coming up though here is, if I look at the Seven of Pentacles and the fact that your energy and even your body language is turned looking downwards, and we have this air sign looking toward you, wanting to communicate, wanting to open up, wanting to bring some sort of healing energy into the situation, but you're still in a period of assessment about that, and that's fine. I feel like, spiritually speaking, you need to take the time to figure out what you're ready for, what you're ready to hear, how you want to communicate, how you want to engage, and actually your focus may be really quite strongly around finances anyway. You know, that 8th house deals with other people's money, it deals with debt. Second house with the full moon in Gemini is also about material possessions. So, you know, as we're in this final month of the year, there's maybe a real focus in around you taking stock of, you know, what do I need to do to move myself forward to a more secure, robust place to start out 2020 from a place of feeling content and safe. And so maybe there is a sense of you not quite ready to engage or have the time to connect or listen on the emotional front just yet. I feel like that's going to come in, but there's almost like a slightly selfishly orientated position that I feel you need to take for a period of time through this month, Taurus. So we have Three of Swords energy coming through, and I think that there's a couple of things that come through for me with this, okay? The first one is about a sense of clarity that is emerging in December about your forgiveness for yourself at all of the choices and decisions and everything that's led you up to this point, okay? There's also a truth that comes through that as you're doing that inner, deeper transformational 8th house work in Sagittarius season Taurus, you're healing old wounds. And this is the point of the energetic landscape of this last month in the year in 2019. We have to wrap up old stories so that we're ready to begin anew with a healthier, more loving, higher vibrational energy. And so you are being perhaps like pulled back into some more reflective moments, and you know, December can bring that about for us, right? It's a sentimental, emotional time of the year for many people. The holiday season can trigger and bring up all sorts of different experiences, and so you are being guided to revisit that fleetingly, I want to say. This isn't an energy that's staying with you all through this month. This is about a moment in time where you acknowledge and then allow yourself to let go of that, because whatever you experienced, whatever you went through, has all formed part of the growth that you've received, and the wisdom that you now hold. You know, that 7 of Pentacles for me is still a card of wisdom, you know, to get to the point of where he's actually been able to create this garden and this abundance. You know, that took diligence, that took hard work. There was a sense of having to graft, understanding the cycles, understanding the energy, and how to work with the landscape to bring everything together. So even though the picture hasn't fully realized itself yet, there is this understanding that it's all helped to shape the person that you are and what comes next for you, right? So we have some beautiful synchronistic energies happening all the way through December, and for me it's gonna show up for you in the sense of I want to say reminding you of just what you're capable of, Taurus, right? December is about reminding you just what you're capable of and how you can use that with greater confidence and strength as we move into next year. So no one situation, no one person, no one experience that you've been through is in any way an expression or a validation really of who and what you represent. It all coalesces together to form this deeper sense of resilience and strength that you've garnered within yourself. Strength card coming through here. So the courage with which you have developed through what you've been through this year and this decade is the jumping off place and the platform with which you are moving into 2020. So that's this deeper peace. It's a deeper sense of trust within yourself, that you got it right, that you're where you're meant to be, and that not everything has come together, but you're okay with that because you're starting to get glimpses of what that bigger vision looks like. And you can bet on yourself in that way. So the star and the strength card coming through for me is a beautiful sense of not only the renewal and the hope, but also the courage and the fortitude for you to just keep pressing forward with what it is that you want for yourself. So it could also be a Leo energy that you're dealing with for some of you. And if you are, and there's maybe been some sort of upset or situation that's caused either a breakdown in communication or words that have maybe been said with regret. I kind of want to link back to almost like Mercury retrograde season through Scorpio. So if there was some stuff coming up in that 7th house energy for you, there seems to be resolution and resolve that's coming in this month of December. What you do with that, as in, do you take the reconciliation or do you decide to move forward? I feel is down to what it is that you are seeing as that bigger picture for yourself. And I think you're in a position of power with that strength card coming in right of the center of your reading. You're almost getting the guidance from your higher self, that beautiful celestial healing energy that's going to help keep you on track. You know, it's going to say to you, this is for your best and highest good. or here's the forgiveness and the tolerance that you need to step back into a situation. This might not be just on a personal level. This could also be some sort of professional situation that you may have dealt with through this last few weeks, Taurus. Okay, so we have Emperor energy coming in. This could be an Aries sign, fire sign that we're dealing with here. For me, this emergence of the Emperor, on one hand, is talking to me about your need to regain a sense of control, regain a sense of power and balance in your world. Remember, 8th house deals with themes of money and death and power and that transformational aspect. So you are being kind of guided to assess what your relationship is with these themes in your life and how it shows up, because this is all about you releasing and ready to step into a new level of growth. As we're into December holiday season, for many of you coming back into a family dynamic where there may be male figures in your life that have in the past been causes of tension or stress, or even some upset, heartbreak situation, you're also being given the strength that you need to be able to navigate that time, or even if this this may be loss. So for those of you that have either lost fathers or father figures in your life, and again this time of year really bringing that back up to the surface, there's this sense of you being able to find what you need to have the emotional strength. And remember what I said about the start of the reading, that although there's people that are looking towards you, or this communication, like people wanting to kind of emotionally connect with you, you are to a certain degree keeping yourself slightly detached or held back, because you're needing to recalibrate, you're needing to find that balance and that sense of alignment within yourself first. Once you've done that, you've then got the strength that you need to be able to face any situation that's arising. For some of you, this could be a partner or a husband as well. If there has been challenge, or this is a challenging time of year, again, I feel that we've got more open communication that comes, but you are being asked to be direct and upfront with what you need. What is your love language? How do you need to emotionally connect at this moment in time? We have Venus moving into Aquarius on the 20th of December. So that Venus energy helps us to understand how we love, how we connect. And in Aquarius, it's kind of unconventional, but it's also thinking outside the box. It wants to set a different tone. It wants to try something new. So there's maybe this sense of you wanting to, after all this understanding of the inner work and what's changing within yourself, a time when you can then more easily express, here's what I need, here's how I need to show up, and this is what I expect from you. And through that, you can find more of a synergy, more of a sense of emotional freedom almost in the relationships. We have another 3 of Cups energy coming in. So it is talking to me about the need for you to have that kind of social context with which to almost, I almost want to say, like, test this newer version of who you're becoming and how you feel, right? When we move into Capricorn energy, it's into your 9th house, Taurus. So this is all about expansion. This is about new learning. This is about a sense of hope and optimism coming back in. This is about traveling and sort of exploring new uncharted territories. So in order to do that, you have to almost like put yourself out there. You have to engage with different types of people. You have to connect in different sorts of ways. So even though at the start of the month we have this quiet, more contemplative energy with the 7 of Pentacles, I feel once you've found some resolution or reconciliation within yourself, you're then ready to step out and be prepared to see how that sits. How do I want to communicate and kind of How do I want to be around, and who do I want to be around, more importantly? You know, I think this is a month when you're making some fairly strong decisions about what feels right for me. What feels right for me in this context? On the 26th of December, the new moon in Capricorn is also a solar eclipse. Really, really powerful energy that comes in right at the end of the year, just to signify that sense of complete shift in energy, like a bolt of lightning really coming in. Very powerful kind of revelationary time, where I feel like you are going to get this real sense of epiphany as it activates a beautiful trine as well with Jupiter and Uranus. And so there is this very synchronistic aspect to it, very spiritual aspect to it, Seven of Cups energy coming in. More emotionally connected as well as we move in toward that period of time for you. It's almost just like something's shifted into place. You've done that inner work through that 8th house, and now you're ready to kind of step out and be seen in a different way, Taurus. There's choices and opportunities presenting themselves. There's options that maybe be at times feeling almost overwhelming as you consider, is this the right way? Is this the way I need to direct my energy? But also a very powerful link into spirit. I mean, this is a beautiful run of energies with the Star, the Strength, and the Seven of Cups. All three of these really helping you to connect into your divine self, your higher self. Remember, I said receiving all of those beautiful angelic messages from your guides coming in as well. And I have this feeling that right through that end of the year period of time, you may find that there are some returning energy or returning ideas, and you're being asked to look at them in a different way. It's like shifting your perspective on something that maybe you'd either closed a door on or had felt wasn't right for you. The timing wasn't right for you. Okay, here's the message. It feels like there's something that came up earlier in the year, or perhaps even earlier than 2019, but the timing wasn't right. And now it's being represented to you, and you're being asked to consider it in a different way. You're being asked to consider it from a place of feeling more connected and more aligned with who you are and what comes next for you. And I think there's going to be a shift that takes place, and maybe an embracing of something, but doing it in a different way, or reconnecting in a different way is what I want to say, okay? So your final tarot card here for this month coming through is the Nine of Pentacles. And if we look at what's happening with the 7 and the 9, it's almost like the 7 is talking about that sense of contemplation and assessment that's going on. And then we move through this landscape of energies that are asking you to reconcile, to come back into a sense of balance and harmony with yourself, so that you can reconnect with the people, the situations, the passions, the work, the energy that is calling you. And then there's this poised and perfectly still energy that comes through with the 9 that says, I'm good with this. I'm good with the journey I've just taken through December. I'm good with how I showed up. I'm good with the conversations that I had, with how I expressed myself, with everything that I've achieved this year. And I think this is really important for you, particularly Taurus. There's something about needing to feel wholly recognizing of how much you have done, and to feel an appreciation for that in a more powerful way, so that you close out this 2019 with this sense of gratitude that's going to give you this wonderful platform for what's coming in next. Because the 9 of Pentacles is talking to me about accomplishment, and it's talking to me about your sense of worth, you know, highlighted with that full moon in Gemini, and you receiving some sort of revelation around that time that you then you are able to work with, you know, courageously. You dig deep to understand, okay, what do I need to change within myself to improve this vibration? Because by default, I know that will start to allow in more abundance, whether that's love, whether that's health, money, material, you know, whatever it is that I'm looking to draw more into my life. But that 9 is coming through for me as that sense of whatever decision or choice or conclusion you have come to, Taurus, you're feeling really good about that as we come into that really powerful solar eclipse energy right toward the end of December. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and pull some oracle cards, see what comes out to reflect your reading. Okay, hold your vision, fixed moon. Okay, I mean, of all of the signs, you have the ability to be able to hold your vision and work steadily and methodically toward it, Taurus. But for many of you, this year 2019 has been chaotic, and in that chaos, it's been more challenging for you to find that deeper sense of security that you need in order to be able to thrive. And I think for many of you, what that vision looks like has probably changed repeatedly, dramatically, and the overall arc of the journey has probably been one that has left you at times feeling really confused, and whether that's been in your personal relationships or just in your wider purpose and what it is that you're looking to draw into your life. So what we have as we're into this final month of the year, Taurus, is about a new vision that's emerged through this new moon in Sagittarius, and you kind of, with that beautiful 9th house, like feeling more optimistic and thinking about the bigger picture again and fixing in on a new vision that may still have elements of what the old vision was, but it comes at it from a place of like complete inner transformation, and that means that you're more receptive and understanding of your worthiness to receive it. And that's the real fundamental shift that I think is going to help to allow things to come in on a much faster trajectory than what you may have experienced through this year of 2019. Okay, I think for those of you that have a real focus in and around relationships and are looking to see, is this month of December going to deliver me what I am looking for? Am I going to receive that kind of energetic validation? Are things going to be okay? Am I going to be okay? What they're showing me is relaxation. Everything is unfolding in its divine timing. Your job is to hold that vision, take stock of where you are, find a sense of appreciation that you've already done the work, and then allow Spirit, with this beautiful divine celestial energy of renewal and hope, to bring about and manifest through those universal forces what it is that you need. This is a time for you to really allow yourself to surrender and almost getting out of your own way to let things come in and happen. Take that holiday season to recharge. Take that time, if you have it, to ring fence and release all of those narratives, energies and situations that don't really have a place in 2020. You see, as soon as you've acknowledged them, Taurus, as soon as you've said to yourself, I understand why that happened, from that exact moment, they don't need to keep showing up to teach you anymore. You've taken the acknowledgement and the learning and the growth. In 2020, it's a time of that implementation. But especially in that 8th house, in that Sagittarius season, there is a need to relax into that energy, to surrender into it. It's for many of us in the Northern Hemisphere, that kind of darker time of the year when, we're looking to find that light from different places. We don't always get that charge from the sun in the day when we need it. So you can find that inner light, you can find that guidance yourself that's going to help you to feel more at ease in terms of the inevitability of what is unfolding on your path now. So for me, the sense of relaxation and that 9 of Pentacles is mirroring one another. You've got what it takes to be able to bring about what it is that you want to happen. You have to release the timing and the exact details of how that's going to show up for you. The masculine. Okay, so in this card, we have the 2 figures that are holding hands right here. So for me, I'm going to say, for those of you that are focused around relationships at this point in December. I've got a coming together, whether this with an existing person or a new energy that's coming through. There is a coming together, and the star that is highlighted just on one of the figures here is talking to me about the almost celestial intervention. Remember, I talked about this being a very synchronistic month, particularly around that solar eclipse, new moon, where we have those beautiful trines activated. And it's a time of revelation, you know. So it might be quite unexpected in terms of the turn of events that happen toward the end of this month. We have this masculine energy as a reminder that, you know, we have to constantly balance that yin yang within us. And, you know, particularly with that Gemini full moon that talks about the dual nature of each and every one of us and how we can work with that and bring a sense of cohesion and harmony within ourselves. So where do you need to draw more upon that masculine side of yourself? Links in very strongly with that Emperor energy. Maybe for some of you, you've been resisting it. You don't feel comfortable in the masculine. Or maybe you've had an over-dominance of masculine throughout this year, and actually this is a call to balance it up more with your divine feminine. So take some time to contemplate on what that looks like and what that means for you. But for me, I'm also getting this sense of strength and fortitude and courage to just be fearlessly who you are. Fearlessly who you are, Taurus, making no apologies for that. You know, being that kind of perfect union of divinely inspired and guided, but also that lovely physical presence, that earthly presence of just saying, you know, I'm going to get on and do what I need to do and what's right for me, but I'm still linked in and totally guided by spirit and by what I trust is for my highest good. And then expressing that to people in a new way, in a new language that they can receive from you, so that they actually understand how much you've changed and what it is that you now need. And I think that's really going to help improve your relationships and the way in which you're approaching things in your life from a work perspective as well, because all of this is about the self-worth coming through in a really powerful way as well. Okay, Taurus, I hope this has helped give you some insight for the month of December. If it has, please drop me a like and a comment. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, because I'm also going to be posting out your 2020 December reading through this month. Not your 2020 December, your 2020 annual reading, which I will post out in December. Okay, so we're also going to take this on to the extended reading, where we're going to go into a little bit more detail and see what else we can pick up in terms of the nuances of particular situations that might be coming through. So clarifying the Seven of Pentacles with the Eight of Wands. Okay, so maybe there's a sense of things haven't moved as fast as you want them to, but I feel that's about to change. Seven of Wands coming through. So again, the sense of fortitude that you felt like you've had to, you know, stand up for yourself. You've been challenged, but you're coming out on top with the Empress energy. It links very strongly with you, so it links into Venus and that Taurian frequency, which is really beautiful. Okay, star energy coming through with the Six of Coins. So and the High Priestess. Okay, I really like that. That High Priestess, that star, the strength, all of this inner counsel and guidance that's coming to you. Okay, Page of Swords is delivering the Two of Swords. What choice or decision that you're making or somebody else that's making? I feel somebody's actually asking something of you, but you weren't quite ready to make your mind up, Taurus. Okay, Three of Swords is bringing in Six of Wands. And Ace of Swords. Okay, Truth card coming through. Opportunity to just clean something. Clean the wound out. That's what I want to say with that. You're cleaning out a wound. Ace of Coins, beautiful. Look at all that new beginning energy that's coming through. Fresh start, clean slate. King of Swords coming in over strength. We will look at what that is bringing up. Two of Wands over the Emperor. Could be an air sign that we're dealing with here, where you need to be strong around a situation, or somebody who's been a little bit emotionally avoidant of late. Or okay, Three of Cups is bringing in the Three of Swords again. But it's all these threes, Empress and Three of Swords, Three of Cups, that are showing the time of giving birth to something new. King of Cups could be a water sign here that we're dealing with. Scorpio, Pisces, Cancerian. Seven of Cups is bringing in the Queen of Cups here. This emotional tone that's taking place at the root of the reading here is interesting. And Three of Cups again, okay. We'll look into more detail to see if this is also a third-party situation that you might be dealing with from a relationship perspective, Taurus. The Magician over the Nine of Pentacles, really like that in terms of the manifesting energy toward what you're looking for. Hold your vision. The Fool, beautiful. Relaxation, Two of Cups. Yeah, for those of you with that focus around relationships, a lot of healing and harmony coming in, but you need to surrender into something. Four of Coins is coming through with the masculine. Okay, let's just pull one more with that. And the Two of Coins as well. Okay, Taurus, if you'd like to join me for the extended, go ahead and click on the downward arrow next to the video description. We'll talk for another 20-25 minutes or so about this reading and pick out a little bit more detail about the people, the connections and situations that have showed up in the clarifying cards. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I really appreciate you. I wish you blessings for the month of December and a happy holiday season full of peace and joy for those of you that celebrate. And I will talk to you again soon. Bye for now.